Oh yeah, it's definitely Oscar season. Hey movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner and welcome to my review of Anora. Anora is a new romantic comedy by Neon, written and directed by Sean Baker, starring Mikey Madison. The film follows Anora, or she prefers to be called Annie, played by Mikey Madison, is a stripper from Brooklyn who meets and falls in love with Vanya, the wealthy son of an oligarch. Once they elope in Las Vegas and the news reaches Russia, it puts their marriage in jeopardy. Before I get into my review, any new viewers coming across my channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. I am Jack Benner. I talk about movies on here. I do movie reviews. From time to time, I do some lists on here. You like movie content? Like what you see so far? Definitely considering that like and subscribe button for more exciting movie content. Ever since Anora won the Palme d'Or, the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival this May, and this movie has been receiving a ton of Oscar buzz for Mikey Madison's performance, Sean Baker's screenplay, and direction. I have been excited about this film and been on my radar this year. And to be completely honest, this is the first of Sean Baker's filmography I have ever seen. I did not see Tangerine. The Florida Project has been on my watch list for the longest time. Definitely excited to check that one out after this, and I did not see Red Rocket either. But I also am aware that this is his first film distributed by Neon instead of A24, and the trailer looked great, sort of like an edgy Cinderella romance story that becomes a thriller. So after hearing rave reviews of this movie for months from film festivals, so I was excited to see if Anora would truly live up to all that Oscar hype. Now, having seen it last weekend, all I could say is, holy shit, it did. This was amazing. Anora just amazed me. It put me on the edge of my seat. I laughed. This is one of the very best films I have seen this year. To start with the pros, Sean Baker's screenplay and direction is on fire here. He absolutely packs a punch here with his craft. Everything from the camera movements, whether it's long takes, or shots that draw you into the chaos that is engrossing. And he also does some great lighting and color choices. The script in this movie is pure brilliance, and so far, my favorite screenplay of the year. How it balances witty comedy and tension is simply brilliant. Fortunately, it never feels tonally inconsistent, nor does it feel like an abrupt tonal shift that was like, let's get to the crazy stuff already. More so, the movie builds up to that point. I was like, oh, this is where the serious stuff comes in. And now it excellently prepares you for that build-up when it gets serious. And the main thing I heard going in was this movie was an amalgamation of Pretty Woman and Uncut Gems. And now having seen it, those comparisons are definitely warranted. Comparisons to Pretty Woman, another romance movie about a prostitute, and the anxiety-inducing, stressful tension of Uncut Gems. But fortunately, it doesn't try to rip off those movies and know how to stand out on its own. And I gotta talk about one of my favorite scenes I have seen this year, the house invasion sequence.
Oh my god.
Just from the build up to it, the dialogue, that entire scene is just like a masterclass in filmmaking. And just to build up to that scene, I was like, oh, this is where the intense stuff comes in. Oh boy, this is where it comes. And what I loved about his direction was the sound mixing. This movie has a lot of arguing, yelling, and shouting, and swearing, and vulgarity. And just the overlapping of all of that continuously increases the tension so much. And the absence of music just adds more to the realism. And throughout that scene, I was like, oh my god, this is still going, yet I don't know if I want it to end. This is such an engaging and unpredictable film, with entertaining characters to focus on and see where their story goes. And just not knowing where the story is going to go had me on the edge of my seat. So Sean Baker should absolutely win the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. He deserves a Best Director nomination as well. Prior to Anora, I have been familiar with Mikey Madison in supporting roles such as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Scream 5. And seeing her in those movies, I was like, I like her so far, but let's see her in a lead, juicy role that she can really shine in. This was it. Mikey Madison's performance in this movie is an absolute powerhouse. And this might be, no exaggeration, the best performance I have seen this year so far. And with her previous roles, I was a little worried Hollywood was going to typecast her as a psycho chick. This role further proves her talents. And it is just simply a phenomenal, star-making performance here. She's charismatic, ferocious, emotional, committed, and an unforgettable performance that fires on all cylinders. Just the way she acts as a stripper, her New York accent worked very well, and just from her energy and humor, charisma. But most of all, her dramatic acting scenes were phenomenal. And there was one particular scene at an airport where a certain news hits her and how she absorbs all of that. Amazing acting from her. And without spoiling anything, the ending of the movie alone deserves her an Oscar nomination. And she has this unpredictability too, where don't know what she's going to say or do next. Is she going to be more calmer, or is she going to have an outburst? And just in the home invasion sequence from her, just my jaw dropped from her acting, just how ferocious she was. Just like, I will either kick you in the face or bite you. Just, oh my God, it gets intense. And I don't care if she has a huge body of work outside those supporting roles I had mentioned before. I honestly think she should win the Oscar for Best Actress. Just please give it to her. I think she has it in the bag. And two other supporting performances I do want to mention. Mark Adelstein as Yvonne, and this is an excellent breakthrough role from him. He shares fantastic chemistry with Mikey Madison, and he just does such a great job playing this spoiled, immature, thoughtless, and irresponsible son of an oligarch. And he's equally charming, but also fantastic in the dramatic scenes, especially one scene in an airplane. He shines in that scene. And I'm looking forward to seeing what movie he does next. And another actor I do want to mention is the actor who played Igor in this movie. And I have not forgotten about his performance since. And he does interesting character growth here from where it starts in the home invasion sequence to where it ends. And I didn't expect that much emotion there. I was also interested in how this movie explored wealth, genuine romance, and manipulation. And one question I did have on my mind after watching this movie was, did Yvonne and Annie really love each other? On the surface, you could see this as another romance movie, but watching the movie, I was like, I'm not really entirely sure if they did. Whether Yvonne just loved her because she's beautiful and she's a stripper and was just maybe using her for sexual encounters. Annie loved Vanya because she was the only stripper that could speak Russian and he's handsome and charming. Or was it really just the money and the wealth? It's a question that has been on my mind ever since I saw the movie, and I'm curious to hear what other interpretations, who else has seen this movie, has to say about that. I'm interested to hear. And one final thing, this might have one of my favorite endings and final shot of the year, which all I could say is an unexpected emotional punch to the gut. As for any issues and nitpicks I have with this movie, one I do think it is a little bit too long, where the second act of this movie starts to get a little repetitive, with Annie and the Russian goons are trying to look for Vanya, who ran, and they were going around town. It was like, have you seen this boy? Have you seen this boy? And you do start to feel that part drag and get repetitive. I was just like, this could have been trimmed a little bit. To sum up, absolutely believe the Oscar hype on Anora. Sean Baker absolutely packs a punch, crafting a hilarious, intense, and exhilarating romance turned thriller, elevated by a total knockout, awards-worthy performance from Mikey Madison. Definitely recommend this movie to you if you're fans of Sean Baker's work in the past. Definitely go see this movie. And if you're interested after hearing all the Oscar buzz on this movie, definitely check it out. However, I do want to warn you, if you are uncomfortable with sexual content and nudity, since there is a lot of sex and nudity in the first half of this movie, and you did not like the crazy sex and poor things, do not watch this movie, or at least just wait until the first half is over. Or if you easily get anxiety or stressed out, do prepare yourself, and do want to let you know that going in. But either way, Anora is an absolute must-see this award season, and Sean Baker, he is rising up as a talented indie filmmaker, and he is definitely getting his due this award season. And now to grade it, I'm going to give Anora 4.5 stars out of 5. And this would so far be my second or third favorite film of the year so far. I would probably second, neck and neck with Wild Robot. And I'm definitely expecting a lot of Oscar nominations for this movie. Speaking of which, for Oscar chances, I have been hearing maybe this could be the Best Picture frontrunner. I definitely have a feeling it's going to dominate at the Golden Globes. It could win Picture Comedy, Mikey Madison could win Actress Comedy, it could win Screenplay. And curious to see how it does at Critics' Choice and Producers Guild if it could win there. So I'm definitely expecting this movie to get nominated for Best Picture, Directing for Sean Baker, Lead Actress for Mikey Madison, Original Screenplay, and I think Film Editing too. And and I could see it winning 3: Screenplay, Lead Actress, and Best Picture. And if Mikey Madison does win the Oscar for Best Actress, could have a three-peat of 3 deserving Best Actress winners for me. Michelle Yeoh won for Everything Everywhere All at Once, happy about that. Emma Stone winning for Poor Things, and this year, Mikey Madison for Anora. I'd be over the moon about that. All my favorite lead actress performances that year absolutely deserved the Oscar, so we'll see what happens this award season. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Anora if you've seen it? Do you agree, disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it, are you interested in seeing the film or not? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie? I want to see more reviews like this in the future. If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. All my social media links are in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a Letterboxd account, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.